Bismillah, Bismillah au nom d'Allah, Bismillah.
Okay, good afternoon, peoples. Once again, it's a pleasure. We have met and we are going to continue right from where we stopped. If you can remember, when we stopped in our last lesson, we were looking at the language patterns in Unit 13. So today we are going to start looking at some of the language patterns in Unit 14 in our first lesson. And the lesson is going to be on use of phrasal verbs. And to be specific, we are going to look at how to use phrasal verbs with the word put. Now, just to remind you, we say a phrasal verb is a verb which is made by combining made by combining a verb together with a preposition. When we combine a verb with a preposition, we are going to make a phrasal verb. Now, sometimes it can be a preposition, or sometimes it can be more than two. Like when you look at this, put up. This is put. Put is a verb, and up is a preposition. So when we put them together, we make the phrasal verb put up. Then, when, for example, we have put up, and then we combine with. This is another phrasal verb, and it has another meaning. So this is put up, this is put up with. Put up with here, we have combined the verb put together with two verbs. In put up, we have only used one verb. So that's why I would say a phrasal verb is made when we combine a verb with a preposition, or we combine a verb with two prepositions. We are going to look at the phrasal verbs with the word put, some of which are here. What you have to know is that phrasal verbs, once you have combined the verb together with the preposition, it will have a meaning. So each phrasal verb has a meaning. Like when you say put up, it has a meaning. Put up with, it has a meaning. So we are going to look at phrasal verbs with put and some of their meanings, after which you will be expected to be able to construct correct sentences using these phrasal verbs. The first one is put up. Put up. What does put up mean? When you put up, it means two things. One, to construct, like a building. Yeah? When a building has been constructed or to build, that is to put up. For example, the city council is putting up a very huge supermarket in our area. So it's putting up. To put up is to construct or to build. Another meaning of put up is to raise. Like in class, when you are answering questions, you are told that you should always ensure you raise your hand. When you raise your hand, you can also say you are required to put up your hand. Another meaning of put up is to stay. To stay. And remember, when you stay somewhere, it means you're just there for a short period of time, after which you go to your usual place where you live. So that is to stay. Like in a sentence, it was raining heavily, it was raining cats and dogs, and so I put up at my friend's house that night. I put up. So put up can also mean to raise. And it means to raise and also to stay. When you talk of prices of goods, like right now when we are having this very serious disease, we will find that some prices of some goods have been raised. When you, instead of saying they have been raised, we can say some shopkeepers have put up the prices of some goods. Another one is to put on. Put on. What does put on mean? When you put on is to place or to wear. Like when you place an advertisement, and a job advertisement has been put on the newspaper. So to put on is to place or to wear. Like in the morning when you wake up, you put on your uniform before you walk out of the house when you want to go to school. So to put on is to place or to wear. Number 3, to put reins up. Put reins up. Just in our first example, we say to put up means to raise. So to put reins up simply means to have the reins increased, to increase the reins. So when the reins have been put up, like after building his new house, the man decided to put the reins up. That means the reins were increased. To put up with, put up with. Put up with, this is now one verb combined with 2 prepositions. So when you put up with, it means to tolerate. And another word for tolerate is to endure or to persevere. Like in a sentence, you can say, the teacher finds it very difficult to put up with learners who are rowdy during his lesson. So to put up with, to tolerate or to endure or to persevere. We did not manage to put up with his indiscipline, and so he had to be thrown out of the room. So to put up with, to tolerate. Put off has different meanings, and I've said these words, phrasal verbs, you can derive their meanings depending on how they have been used in a sentence, because one phrasal verb can have multiple meanings. When you put off one, it can mean to discourage. To discourage. Like you want to go on a trip and one of your friends comes to you and tells you, you see, there's no need of going on a trip. Instead, we can use that our time to go and swim in the ocean. So in that case, you have been discouraged by your friend. So to put off one is to discourage. Another thing, when you are supposed to be doing something now, and then maybe because of some circumstances you feel, I want to do it another time. So you postpone. In that case, you put off. And remember, when you postpone something, it means you are supposed to be doing it now, but you carry it to another day. So put off is to postpone. Then another meaning of put off is to delay. Another one, number 6, is to put across. When you put across something is to explain. Like right now, I can categorically say that I am trying to put across the meanings of the phrasal verbs with put. So I'm trying to explain. When you put across, it means the same as to explain. I did not understand what the teacher was putting across because because my friend was talking in class. So I did not understand what the teacher was putting across. So to put across means to explain. Another one is to put forward. Remember, put across is not the same as put forward. When you put forward something is to make a suggestion. Like you're in a meeting. You are discussing several issues. A member comes and says, you see what? This is my plan. In order for our group to prosper, we need to have a funds drive. So in that case, the group member has made a suggestion. We can say he has put forward. We all applauded him because of the good suggestion which he put forward. So to put forward an idea is to make a suggestion. And then to put down. Put down means to write. To put down is to write. Or again, to discourage. To write. For example, now I expect you to put down everything that we are learning during the lesson. So when you put them down, it means to write. It can also mean to disappoint. I was so much put down by my friend who informed me that to stop studying when I was busy revising, so I was put down, I was disappointed, or I was let down. Example number 9 on another phrasal verb with put is to put out. Put out, remember, this is specifically used with fire, not lights. And I repeat, this one is used with exactly and especially with fire, not lights. For lights, like the ones in our room, when you switch off, then we say you are put off the lights. But for fire, when you extinguish, it means to put out. Like the firefighters finally managed to put out the raging fire after a long time. The firemen finally managed to put out the fire after a long time. To put in is to spend time at work or locked up. Like now we can say your parents have put you in the house. So you are spending your time at work, in the house, and for a long time. When you are locked up, you are put in. The criminals, we were all very happy when we heard that finally the criminals who had been causing a lot of problems in our area have been put in, meaning they have been locked up. Put away is simply to keep for later use. Like when a teacher comes into the classroom, he finds that you are maybe in the previous lesson. He says, can you put away your books? Meaning to keep them for later use. When you are connecting somebody through a phone, to put through, that we say you have put through the person. So put through means to connect to somebody, to put through. Okay.
Put through.
Put
Through.
Put through. Okay. Put through means to connect to someone by a phone. When you manage to make a phone call to a person, you have put through. You have put through the person to connect to someone by a phone. To put back is simply to return. Like I can say, can you put back your books into your desks? So can you put back, can you return? And remember, it's wrong to say return back. We just say return. Please return the books. Please put back the books inside your locker. Then to put aside is to ignore or to forget past differences. Like you have a friend whom you have been at loggerheads. You have been quarreling, you have been having some conflicts, and then finally you decide to bury the hatchets. So we can say you have put aside your past differences. So to put aside is to ignore or to forget past differences. Like after going through the counseling session, the boys who were quarreling decided to put aside their differences. Let's look at how we are going to apply this, and this is going to be from your textbook. Your textbooks on page 163. Page 163. There is an exercise there where you are asked to complete, to fill in blanks using phrasal verbs, and it's on page 163. Page 163, and the phrasal verbs are there in the box. Put away, put in, put down, put up with, put forward, put up, put in for, and then put through. So you are required to complete sentences using the phrasal verbs that we have mentioned above. We are going to look at some few of them, after which I'll expect you to do the remaining questions. Look at number 1. You are meant to dash your exercise books when sitting an examination. You are meant to dash your exercise books when sitting an examination. Now, in this case, you are required. We are having an examination. So most likely you should not be having your exercise books. So the correct answer there is supposed to be put away. So number 1, the correct answer should be put away. So that if you read the sentence, then it should be you are meant to put away your exercise books when sitting an examination. Let's look at the second one. The second one, the farmers were rowdy and the magistrate warned that she could not dash the noise. She could not dash the noise. If you read this, then you can also conclude that this magistrate is struggling to no avail to tolerate the noise. So the phrasal verb for this should be the one that means to tolerate or to endure, and that is to put up with. So the magistrate finally could not tolerate the noise. The farmers were rowdy and the magistrate warned that she could not put up with the noise in the court. Number 3, has the prices of cooking fat increased? I am not going to entertain shopkeepers who have dashed their prices. When you read this, you find that the prices have most likely been increased. And we say to increase, especially for prices, then we say the prices have been put up. So in the sentence, we are going to say, I'm not going to entertain shopkeepers who have put up their prices. Number 4, Zakayo dashed the job that was advertised in the newspaper. Now she has been invited for the interview. So Zakayo must have made an application. When you make an application for a job, then you will say you have put in for the job. So now that Zakayo made an application for the job, then the correct phrasal verb in this case should be to put in for. So Zakayo put in for the job that was advertised in the newspaper. Now she has been invited for the what? The interview. So we have done up to number 4. The remaining questions, number 5 up to number 8, will be for your assignment. So tackle number 5 up to number 8, and that is what we are going to discuss in our next lesson. Thank you very much, and we hope to meet in our next lesson.
بسم الله